Hello everyone, this is Waldorf.
And this is Statler.
And today we're looking at Battle Report 51.
051.
This is Battlecry 2017, Game 2. It's my second day. If you watch the first one...
Second game, not second day.
Yeah, well, it feels like 2 days.
Yeah.
If you watch the first one, I took a 8-12 loss to Once Bitten and his beast herds. So now I get to fight another underpowered army in the Undying Dynasties.
There you go.
And all this was at Titan Games and Hobbies in Timonium, Maryland.
Undying Dynasties with their spiffy emblem.
They do have that going for them, don't
They
they?
have a spiffy emblem.
Pretty fancy. And why can't I click over here? Let's click that and see if that works. There we go. There's my list. If you can pause it and read it. We did this in the last video. If you want to flip back and actually hear us talk about it, you can go there. But anyway, pause it and read it. Undying Dynasties. The guy had a Nomarch who was his general with the Aspen Bow, a great weapon, shield, armor, fortune, would give him a 5-up ward, and an obsidian rock. I don't see a lot of people taking magic resistance anymore.
Yeah.
This is the little cheapo 6 one.
There's a lot less magic out there.
Yep. A Death Cult Hierarch, who was a Hierophant with 4 spells on evocation, and another Death Cult Hierarch, 1 spell of evocation and a Dispel Scroll.
Oh, lots of evocation.
Lots of evocation. 39 skeletons, full command group, hand, weapon, and shield. Usually see those guys with spears, but...
Or with bows.
Yeah, well, there's... Yeah. 29 skeleton archers, full command group. 3 skeletal chariots with a musician. 30X Necropolis Guard. Not sure why that... why that had to be so large.
You want to make sure that this unit was noticed.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yes.
Full command group, halberds and shields. 2 carnal catapults. Those things are scary. 3 units of Tomb Reapers. 2 with paired weapons. The other was just single hand weapon. Guess he was running shy on points.
It would seem so. Only units of 2. That's interesting.
They're really good.
They are good.
And they're good even in 2s.
Yeah.
Because a little bit more flexible to spread them out.
There is that.
So, there's going to be a little bit of difficulty in the first few until we get out of the corner, because there's a window right beside this corner of the thing. This was, as you can see, the diagonal, as you can guess based on this, the diagonal deployment zone. The, what is it, meeting engagement, anyway, something. Anyway, you deploy diagonally.
Right.
This is also capture the flags. So you can see the little stars on the unit. He has 4 scoring units. No, he had 3. Sorry, I went to all the trouble with the stars on it and put them on the wrong one. This is 1 unit of archers. This is his other scoring unit, the Necropolis Guard, and the hand weapon and shield guys.
Oh, chariots aren't scoring for them?
They can be if you give up light troops.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought, yeah.
So, and of my 4 units, he chose the 2 units of orcs and...
1 unit of boar boys.
And boar boys. Foot orcs, I should say.
Right.
And boar boys. My tailless wyvern is still running around. Other than that, that's what we got. We got 2 hills, a couple fields, forest, and this was a ruin.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the problem is I've moved down off the top 8 tables, which the terrain was all done very nicely for.
Yes. So instead we have a 40k piece of terrain laying on the ground sideways.
As we were kind of running out of, the TO was kind of running out of terrain, they were starting to improvise on the lower tables.
Could have at least stood it up.
Well, it stood up. It didn't look even. It looked even worse. Anyway,
I'm not sure that's possible, but
so
okay.
He has his 2 carnal catapults back to back. You can see his 3 units of the Tomb Reapers, and the rest of his army.
Yeah, yeah. It had a building. Could have left that terrain off.
What's that?
It had a building. Could have left that terrain off.
I would. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, I'm sure it didn't matter.
They wanted multiple pieces of terrain.
Yeah,
Actually, this came in play none in the entire game.
Yeah, because he's behind his lines.
Based on where it was, it could have been left completely off the board.
Right.
So, moving on.
I'm sorry, can you back up?
Sure.
What is that behind your orcs?
I put the little stars on them. He put
Not
little
the
markers
stars.
on them.
Oh, that's what those.
These
okay.
are little scoring markers.
Okay.
He
Okay.
put on the unit. He had little markers to put on them.
I see. Okay.
I kind of highlighted them for the video.
Okay.
And made sure I did them wrong. So anyway.
The-
So anyway. So there we have it. As a closer look at his army. And my army, I'm hiding my wyvern, doesn't want to get hit by a catapult.
Yep.
Everyone else is within the 12-inch bubble at the moment.
Okay.
For his catapults.
Yeah, well, you need that with that leadership.
So, yeah, and there was really nothing I was going to be able to do with scouting. So my guys kind of hung back, and I was going to use them strictly as redirectors for his Necropolis Guard. Was my plan.
Okay. I mean, you could have tried to get him around the sides to draw him off, I guess.
I could have, but yeah, I mean the chariot unit alone can turn and shoot me off.
I'm in the side over here.
Right. Oh, yeah. So anyway, he had first turn. He moved up slightly. Not a lot. Kind of surprised me. I expected just a full advance.
Wants to use his shooting advantage.
What's that? I mean, he doesn't have a shooting
Yeah,
advantage.
those catapults, they put a lot of,
Catapults are really good,
they
though.
put a lot of hurting on things.
So my turns, I'm like, okay, well, let's kind of see what happens. I moved up slightly. You can see my boar boys, the scoring unit that was over here more towards back behind this gargantula, just did a swift reform, and they're heading over the hill. They're well within the general's arc, general and BSB. My plan is just to take next turn and get them off that hill and behind it, and just kind of park them there to preserve at least one of my scoring units.
There you go. And your wyvern just kind of flew out there.
And my wyvern just kind of plopped around.
Could have parked him behind your spider.
Yeah, but he is outside of the 48 inches, or what he needs, or something.
Okay.
So, shooting, I get lucky and shoot off one of his Tomb Reapers.
Yep.
And then that was pretty lucky. Because they're T5. I need 6 of them.
Yep.
But again.
They go back.
They go back. So, his turn 2. You can see he's just shifting around a little bit. You can see the chariots trying to slowly creep around the hill.
Yeah, doesn't want to face that spider.
His archers fire and kill a couple of my spider riders. No big deal. His Tomb Reapers that were up front, the one remaining, flew back behind his line, and he's regrown it.
I grow one back, yep.
And now his buddy's back again. So he's happy about that.
Very soul crushing, isn't it, to kill a bunch of guys and watch them grow back?
It's really annoying.
Especially when they're elite guys.
When you take an elite guy and you bring him down to 50% effectiveness, and the next turn they're full.
Yep.
It's like, the bright side is he's casting spells on them that would be better used, could be used somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because he has that touch of the Reaper spell, which terrifies me. It's the strength 10 versus your leadership.
Right.
Anyway. So there we go. Again, since he's moved back, I'm going to inch up a little bit more. I'm okay with my spider on the bottom. You can see my spider's taking a wound from his catapult. One of the catapults that put a wound on one of my spiders. I'm okay with my spider taking on one of these units. I think I can do well against either one of those.
Right.
But I don't want both of them on me.
Yeah.
That's too many strength 5 attacks to deal with. Again, just kind of moving on to turn 3. Again, he kind of, like you can see, the chariots, I moved up a little bit on the left with a few things, and his chariots are backing off again. So at this point, I'm realizing, okay, well, we're not going to fight in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's apparent to me we're not going to be in combat. So on my turn, he's shooting. He kills off 2 more of my spiders, bringing them down to 1. They're in the bubble, so they pass.
Right.
So again, there we go.
He passes.
He passes, not they. He passes. So like I was saying, I'm convinced we're not going to fight, so I'm taking the fight to him at this point. My idea with my archers is they try to whittle you down as you come in.
Right.
He's having none of that. So again, you can see. There we go. I'm moving forward.
So he sucked you into his cleverly constructed plan.
Apparently so. Everybody comes up. My spider over there on the far right. I mean, top of the screen is threatening his chariots. If he wants to take those chariots into me, I'm really happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
Turn 4, he could see just. See with this, his chariots just can see just barely around the corner of this hill and can see the edge of my orc unit.
Can your spider see his other guys?
And my spider can see his
Okay.
They can see his necropolis guard.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes his chariot into my guys. 1, 2, 3 chariots. That's 3d6 strength 4. It's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. It'll weigh you down.
And now that
you got to stand a shoot reaction.
When he saw us, I did, and you notice I've done no wounds to him. The needing, I think I needed 8s, long range, cover, and because when he started, he was covered from the hill.
Right.
Long range, hard cover, and stand and shoot. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Now that he sees me coming forward, you can see some of his units coming forward.
Mm-hmm.
His necropolis guard have come forward mainly to get the spider out of his arc as well.
Right.
As to come a little bit closer, I think. There you go. Better shot of that.
Looks like he's plopped somebody next to, or something.
What's that?
What's that brown, gray thing next to his...
That's a marker he uses.
Okay.
It's just a little plaque thing. He uses it to mark where a unit starts in case he ends up backing it back up again.
Oh, okay.
So it's just kind of tossed there at the moment. He got off this spell. See what that is? See how bad, that devastating that is?
Yeah.
This is the spell -1 initiative, -1 leadership, -2 weapon skill.
Mm.
So...
yeah.
Catapult fires, puts a wound on itself. Oh, sorry. Put a wound on itself the last turn. This turn it put a wound on my spider. I'm getting lucky because he's hit me twice and each one has only done 1 wound so far. The archers fire and pick off my poor guy.
Okay.
He felt that, I asked him, he said he felt the need to get rid of him so he didn't come running around and chaff up something with, with a single spider.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like, okay, well, it kind of makes sense. You can see chariots have crushed a bunch of orcs.
There's a lot of chariots missing.
But there's 2 chariots missing. That's even with the -1.
Mm-hmm.
He wins that fight by quite a bit, but I still hold. Actually, it wasn't that much. But I do hold because I'm steadfast.
Right.
And that was...
Yeah, 3 chariots, but you got all spears. That's not too shabby even.
Yeah, I have 18 attacks back, but I
Mm-hmm.
need 5s to hit him.
Yeah. Just a couple 6s will annoy you.
What's that?
A couple 6s on wounding will be very annoying. Yeah.
And I think I did roll a couple.
Mm-hmm.
So, worried about my orcs. So I send my spiders in to help them out.
There you go. Why send the squid guy when you can send the spiders?
The orcs did, meanwhile, if you can see, I think you can see they've cinched up to 5 wide.
Right.
Hopper came around, had parked himself behind the hill. I'm expecting these I don't have an answer. I think these necropolis guard can roll most anything except the spiders.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm expecting them to move in on me quickly, and they're just...
And your wyvern guy.
Kind of slowly creeping up. Even the wyvern, they have killing blow. They have the lethal strike and poison. So poison and lethal strike can combine to get through my toughness fairly well. And he's not going to be breaking. So I think if I send
So if he's got poison, he's wounding automatically on a roll of a 6.
Correct. Which is forfeiting his lethal strike.
Right.
But
so
it's still nice.
Yeah.
Anyway. I mean, he's strength, what? What did we say?
So strength 5. He didn't give him halberds, so strength 5.
Yep. So anyway,
Mm-hmm.
There we have it. So the spiders clear off the chariots and turn to face the oncoming necropolis guard.
Right.
Spiders are awesome that way. They can deal that kind of stuff. You can see up on top, my gargantulas come around the corner, looking menacingly at those guys. And what's he casting? Something on my orcs. So we go to turn 5. So his turn 5, he comes and charges me. Keep him off his guy. And elsewhere, just kind of still happy to sit back. His archers fire, and his catapult and his archers hit, and brings me down to up to 6 wounds.
Yeah, 2 down.
So he just got half his points with that shot.
Yep.
Over here, he put 3 wounds on me, but I put 4 back on him. So he had a charge and 3 to my 4. We push and sit there. On my turn, the bottom of my turn 5, my spider, knowing none of these reapers over here on the right can get in on him because of where the building is.
Right.
My spider charges into his hand weapon and shield guys. Kind of hoping the archers will try to move to support and let the orcs charge him in the flank.
Right.
The wyvern moves up to where he can see from where he is now. He can see both sides of the building. He can see the hand weapon and shield guys over to the top, and he can see both these units of winged reapers here on the bottom. And just to make sure nothing real, I don't want the Necropolis Guard into my spider, so my spider riders go forward and chaff them up.
But you're dragging them to the center.
But the center, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's all scoring units on this one, and he's got 1 turn left. This is bottom of 5, so he can come kill my 150 points and sit in the center. I'm not going to charge him even if he does it, because I can't eliminate him.
Yeah, well.
Unless my spider, if my spider gets through, if my spider somehow
gets through, and you get to
gets through, and I can get a good
guys
shot
in there, and you got a rear charge, you can do some things.
If I can get enough of it, but I'm going to have 2 combat rounds.
Yeah.
No, if I charge him, I've got 1.
Yeah,
I've got to break him in 1, and that's just not going to happen.
You have to do a lot of damage so he crumbles.
Right,
yeah.
And like I said, I just don't think I can do enough for that toughness 4 unit. So anyway, moving on. Better picture there. And Spider, let's show it. Spider killed those guys that are in the back on his turn. So this is the overall picture. This is overall picture going into.
And you killed the other guy.
And I killed the other guy
from the spider.
Correct. It's on top. I killed the Tomb Reaper, but he's put another wound on me. I think I'm at 6 now. But my squig, my hopper up there is ready. Both my hoppers are ready to pounce. If he does something really dumb with the what are they? The Necropolis Guard. Then I can pounce on him with a ton of stuff, and he could be into trouble. But I don't expect that of him. He's been pretty cautious the whole game. So this is what it looks like going into the top of turn 6. There he goes. He elects to just back up with the Necropolis Guard.
Interesting.
Yeah, means the only thing that can reach him are the spider and the hopper, and I'm not. And he's got I don't know, 24, 25 of them. Yeah. There you go. Oh, sorry. And then he did get me in the front. Sorry.
Yeah.
I must have taken a picture before he finished.
Yeah.
The only thing is, one of the things that's got me nervous is the spider down here fighting these hand weapon and shield guys. It only has 2 wounds left.
Right.
And you know what we've been saying about the arrow shots. The same thing applies to enough hand weapon shots.
Yep. He doesn't have spears.
6s come get through every once in a while. So his catapult fires and plinks off my
spider.
Ragnarok. Sorry, Gargantula.
Yep.
Unfortunately, and this is a picture I copied from an earlier photo.
Okay.
Because I did not take a picture of this turn. There should be less of those guards there. Because my spider had another round and killed another dozen or so. Won the combat, and there should be, I think there's like a dozen, I don't know, 15 to 16. So anyway, after the combat, I did the combat reform to the left, to the top of the picture to make room for the wyvern.
Some space for your wyvern.
So the wyvern can get in there. Again, I need a scoring unit, and I can't get the other 2. So anyway, so the wyvern charges. This is the game that ran long despite the not coming into contact with each other.
Okay.
So the wyvern charges in here, easily makes it. I called the warg on that turn, just to be sure, because bottom of turn 6 anyway.
Right.
You can see on the far right, he elected not to get these guys killed, just back them off.
Right.
Both the Tomb Reapers. I think he would have been better served to the one that could charge the wyvern, and hope to tie it up for a turn to keep it off these guys.
Right.
But he didn't. The wyvern goes into these, and between the spider, the wyvern, the stomps, all the attacks, we crush this unit and eliminate it.
Okay.
And there you have it. So it was, I had less than 100 point win. So it's a 10-10 game, but the objectives make it a 7-13. Again, the objectives are so big in these tournaments.
Yeah.
In the standard rules.
Yeah, got to pay attention to them.
I mean, yeah. You can get close to tabled if you have the objectives. You still come out with 6 points.
Right.
Anyway. So, again, it was a relatively kind of a slap fight game. No one wanted to get it within range of the other guy.
Right.
Knowing kind of if I would have known, and this is a guy I've never played before.
Right.
I don't know if this is his style all the time or what, but knowing that, if I would have known his style going into the game, I would have started moving on turn 1 and tried to push it even harder.
Right.
But, it's kind of, when you don't know the guy and the guy has an army that you respect.
Yeah, he was probably concerned about, getting your big things into his, big blocks of troops. They weren't going to stand up to that.
Correct. Yeah, the only block of troops I think he can stand up to the spider is the Necropolis Guard.
If they're facing in the right direction.
If they're facing him, correct.
Yeah.
They have to be facing him for that. And the thing is, with the Undying Dynasties, same thing with vampires. They're more forgiving in that if you make that terrible mistake, you're going to take a round of punishment. But you're not auto breaking and running. Matter of fact, you're not breaking. So. Yeah,
I think if you had the Necropolis Guard or not the Reapers, whatever they're called, in slightly bigger units, then they're a little scarier for your monsters.
If the Reapers are in 2 units of 3, then they're much scarier to my monsters, to my spiders.
I don't think they put out enough damage. That's the only thing.
But, I mean...
Especially if you give them halberds.
If he worked them in coordination with each other and kept all 3 units together, then he's got the same effect.
Kind of, but you have to be careful with that too, because if you fail one of the charges, and you can be left hanging. So, you've seen that happen a lot of times.
We have. But anyway, so after 2 games, let's see, the first one was a 8-point loss. I got 8 in that one, 13 in this one. So I'm one above 20.
Oh, there you go.
I'm at 21 after 2 games. So I got that going for me. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Till next time.